Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of The Elevated Soul. I'm joined here today by my friend Rachael LePrey. Ooh, it rhymes. And we're currently sitting on a beautiful piece of land out in the Huntsville area in Utah. Currently, where we are sat was once a Catholic monastery. The building was right here, the monastery itself, and was torn down in 2017, I believe. And yeah, we'll just give a little show around of where we are. There's hundreds of acres of farmland all around the tree line here. Cemetery where the monks that lived and died here are currently buried. And it's a gorgeous day. Beautiful day.
Mm-hmm. We've seen 2 deer.
We've seen 2 deer. We've seen all sorts of birds,
Mm-hmm.
hunting bugs.
Hunting bugs.
We walked through this forest back behind us that one of the monks planted.
Mm-hmm. We gave Mother Mary an offering of a rose.
That's right. We found a rose from a wedding that was here yesterday and gave it to a Mother Mary statue in the forest. It's been quite a beautiful day.
Yeah, it has.
So I'd love to kick this off with you just introducing yourself to everyone. Just a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you came to be here. Whatever feels relevant.
Yeah. My name is Rachael LePrey. I'm an embodiment coach with the Center on Tantra. So I do a lot of shadow work, inner child work. I do a lot of embodiment work. My practice emerges more and more every day. Feeling very connected to the collective consciousness. I've been getting a lot of visions. So really been leaning into maybe channeling, intuitive channeler. I'm trying to kind of figure out what that is, but everything is emerging more and more as I listen and as I witness myself and my relationship to what emerges in this life. And so I'm a very good receiver and giver, but I'm a very good listener, and I notice a lot.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed you noticing in our interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something beautiful about someone who's done enough work to be embodied in such a way that they can notice subtle shifts in your energy or your posture or even your breath rate, and then be able to put a little pin in it and be like, hey, what's this?
Yeah.
Right? And at first you might be like, wow, I don't know what you're talking about. And then it's like, take a breath. Let's be with that sensation.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. And I think with embodiment, sometimes the thing that's emerging, maybe it's too hard to recognize, but understanding our relationship to that thing that is emerging helps maybe introduce ourselves into that too.
Yeah, in a less scary way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, something is emerging in my throat. You were talking about, the victim or whatever, and you kind of maybe talk more about the relationship we have toward the victim, or whatever comes forward. But yeah.
Cool. Well, I'd love to know just kind of your personal definition for embodiment and embodiment work, because I know that's talked about a lot, just like somatic therapy. If you break it down to the root, it's like soma, body. That could mean anything. Yeah. So what does it mean to you? Maybe through the lens of your work.
Yeah. Tantra to me has really allowed me to step in, give me permission to step into my wholeness.
Mm.
through all of who I am. And I think embodiment takes us being in our wholeness, or at least like in this moment, because we continue to become, more whole and whole as we witness the relationships to things as things emerge. But it was like my first deep allowance to be all of who I am.
Mm.
Because that's the biggest practice with Tantra is what is truth, your truth, what is wholeness, And so embodiment for me is oh, it's like it's the feminine practice that's in all of us, but it's in receiving and relationship to the things that we're receiving, through through the noticing of them and being able to step into our life with that information or with that feeling.
Mm.
um, so we can feel free, and so we can feel liberated, so we can feel there's like a powerfulness there too.
Mm.
um, like almost like no matter what, um, I'm here. I don't know, does that make sense?
That is making sense to me. Yeah, like
Maybe.
being unapologetically you
Mm-hmm.
and being so okay with every part of you that you really get to like play in life. Is
Mm-hmm.
that kind of it?
Play, yeah.
Yeah.
Play and be in pleasure through like the deep embodiment of Rachael spilling out.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
nothing
just
held back.
like being like spilling out with love of, you know, others and myself and nature and spirit. And it's full of like just play and pleasure and freedom, like that freedom that we talked about earlier.
Right.
But it's not it's not easy to do in this kind of world.
That's true.
Yeah. When I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm noticing, there's some friction or something, and I bring it into the space because I'm noticing it, and I ask, are you feeling that too? Sometimes it causes a lot of friction.
Right.
But friction is also, I think, pleasurable. And,
Yeah.
and that is a thing that I think that is a thing I think that people don't understand that quite either, because it's like it's so it's so pleasurable to be honest with someone you love
Yeah.
and to invite that into the space. And I do find friction to be pleasurable now.
Yeah.
But I think that took some time.
I would imagine so. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting there myself. Um, yeah, a lot of conditioning in our culture to kind of push away the bad, avoid conflict,
Mm-hmm.
you know, let it go, sweep it under the rug. That's definitely a
Mm-hmm.
common pattern
Yeah.
that I see with a lot of people and myself. And we're so afraid of the conflict that we make it bigger than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a simple conversation of expressing how you're feeling.
It's a practice of honoring each other.
Right, right, yeah, honoring this because you're not keeping something inside and then letting it build to resentment, and that's affecting the
Mm-hmm.
relationship or friendship,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And instead, it's like, let's air the laundry and
Yeah.
just be real.
It's almost like it's intimacy.
It is, yeah.
And also with Tantra, what you're wanting to find is the meeting point of pleasure and pain. It's
Mm.
like that's where it rewires. So, where is the meeting point of pleasure and pain? And obviously, you have to be gentle there.
Right.
But like for me, for example, like I grew up very masculine, and I was like the doer, I was the protector, I was the making sure everything was okay.
Mm.
And my journey has been the feminine embodiment. And whoo, is she amazing. But like when I first started, like the idea of surrendering and trusting someone was painful. Somatically, like it was so hard, the idea or practice of surrendering and trusting. It hurt. And through practice of me surrendering and then my, me being taken care of, or me, things working out over and over again, like this practice, whether it's intentional or you kind of created in your worlds or whatever, or within intimacy or whatever. I learned to find pleasure in trusting and find pleasure in that surrender because of these like practices that met that meeting point of pleasure and pain. Beautiful. Where it rewires your brain, it rewires your spirit, your cells, your everything.
Beautiful. That brought up so many things I'd like to double click on.
Yeah.
But first, I would be remiss if I didn't go back to the word intimacy. And there are two coaches that I used to work with that would always say, intimacy, into me, you see.
Yeah.
Right? And how beautiful, like to let all of you be seen, even though someone may choose to feel some way about your feelings or your truth. Again, not yours to fix or deal with. And it can just be a back and forth of, right?
Yeah, just like an honoring of each other's experience. Like, this is my truth, this is how I'm feeling. They have a feeling or a response to it.
Right.
They honor that for them. And that's why I think this language that's emerging, like consent. And I know some people use consent against the healing journey. It's an interesting one. But when you're communicating and there's consent in the communication, and when I say that, it's just, how do I explain this in a way?
Like not just unloading on someone without setting a container first, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is like, I have some things, I want to express myself to you. Do you have space for that?
Yeah.
And creating a container, like you said, that allows a consent of that, like giving, receiving, push and pull. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, I'd like to double click on Tantra and dive into that a little bit more. So I know for me personally, when I first started hearing about Tantra, I think the first time I ever heard the word was in a Bare Naked Ladies song. They have a line where he says, like Sting, I'm tantric. And I was like, what's that? And I Googled it and I was like, interesting. But my first understanding of it was very sexually oriented, but I know that that's not the case now.
Yeah.
Now that I've learned more about it. So could you expand on the practice of Tantra and maybe what that looks like?
Yeah. To me, Tantra is a way of being. Some people say it's a religion of sorts. Like, I mean, it comes through Hindu, or Buddhists kind of took some versions of it as well. And there is levels of Tantra where it is just a spiritual practice. And then there's more on the shadow side. It's called Black Tantra, where you're working more with sexual energy to do deep healing work through sex.
Right.
And that's a lot of where you probably have heard most of it. It's like the westernized version. It's all about being,
Yeah.
And I mean, I think all of it is so valid depending on where you are in your practice and where it enters into your world,
right.
And it might enter in from this side, it might enter in from this side, or in the middle, where it's like, so. But for me, I found Tantra. Is that where we want to?
Yeah. Talk about that.
Or I can talk them out of like a bigger.
Well,
but,
I'd like to hear how you found it, and then maybe into like what a more spiritual practice with it can look like, and then a more physical practice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I found Tantra 8 years ago within partnership. We were there was blocks going on within my relationship, and I thought this person was the person I was going to marry. And I didn't know what was happening, but I could feel a block there.
Yeah.
You know, like initiating, we weren't being intimate with each other. We both really wanted to be. But it was just so hard. It was like, felt very heavy, and like I could tell there was a desire there. But I didn't know that consciously at the time. I could feel wanting something, and I could feel him wanting something, but we just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And is there a bee on me?
Yeah, there's a bee in your hair. You want me to get it out?
No, what kind of bee is it?
It looks like a little yellow jacket.
Oh, that's my dad.
Oh. Hey, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I started doing some research on some shame around intimacy, because I thought there was maybe something broken. Like I felt broken. I think we both felt broken because we both wanted something, but we couldn't do it. It was like so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I started doing some studying about shame that made me feel like I was normal, that we're all like normal. But I was on a run, and I was listening to a podcast about Tantra and this specific practice. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And so I get home, and I'm so excited about it that I initiate. Is it still on me?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just hanging out.
And I'm really excited. So what the goal is there was actually no goal. That's what I was saying, is that there was no goal within this practice. It was literally about just witnessing him, like noticing his moles, the way he smelled, looking into his eyes, like sending like loving energy. So by sending energy, you can do it with your senses. So through the eyes, through the smell, noticing smells, touch, all of that. And so I was sending him all this energy without any destination.
Right.
And I was just being super present and sending him love through the senses. And by the end, he had like a glowing aura around him. And he was like, what was that? And I was like, oh, I just did this thing. I just noticed. I was like kind of telling him a little bit. But he had like this glow around him, and like our hearts were just unblocked in that moment and open, and we reconnected. And it also made me realize where my personal blocks were too. When I have been in relationship within intimacy, it was very much like a checklist thing. Like it's just something you do within relationship.
Right.
And also I was like, I got to take care of myself. I'm here to have an orgasm, and they're here to have an orgasm. That's what this is about, right?
That's what we do. Right? Yeah. That's sex.
Yeah. And then what I realized through this first practice or space with Tantra and practices of Tantra, I realized that my sexual energy, I was holding in. And I was generating it in me, and it was, I was making it bigger and bigger, and I could move it around, and I could move it everywhere. And at a younger age, I noticed this. I think I was like 16,
Mm.
that I could generate it and I could move it.
Right.
But I wasn't conscious. I wasn't like, oh, this is, I just, looking back now, I'm like, oh, that's what that was, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so, but where my vulnerability is in giving that energy away, like giving it to a partner or cycling it with my partner,
Right.
right? Because that's like ultimately with Tantra, the goal is kind of, there's no goals. Whatever needs to emerge, whether it's like the microcosmic orbit of like giving and receiving, or maybe unblocking something for the partner or the other partner, whatever the need is.
Right.
But mine was like deeply, I could not give my sexual energy away. I was like, I got to protect myself.
Yeah.
I got to give it to myself. No one's going to take care of me.
Right. Wow.
And so that's where I ended up understanding the feminine. The feminine is where my deepest work is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and there's lots more. There's so much more there. But that's really how I started, was there, and and the universe started just giving me things after that. It's like, try this. What about this? Here's more. Here's more. Here's more. Here's more. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Okay.
All these
Yeah.
gifts.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, there's just so much gift from the universe, like letting me know, that I was on the right track, and that this was my place, my space, my work.
Beautiful.
And so when I found Tantra, it felt like I was coming home.
Mm.
It feels very, my values are very, my core is truth, honesty, authenticity, freedom. Those are the things that have been in me since I was a child. I've always been like a roadless traveled girly. Yeah. And I think it's because those were innately like installed in me based off of my childhood and what I right. what I came here to learn.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that brings up a point I wanted to talk about too, of like, often in the healing community we'll talk about, well, specifically with healers, like there's an acknowledgement of like the work that you came here to do then becomes medicine you have to share with others. So how does it play out now that you've been in this world for 8 years? Like, what does a session with you look like? I know every session must be wildly different because everyone is uniquely them.
Yeah.
But what do you find yourself working with a lot right now? Do you find patterns with clients?
Yeah. That's I'm definitely a pattern recognition person. That is a gift that's been given to me through the childhood I was given. So yes, as things emerge, I notice and I'll invite that into the space. Or if I feel a block, or if I feel energy densities or like intuitive things coming through, I'll ask, I'll invite, and then we'll talk about the relationship of that thing that is emerging. So yes, it always looks different. I know consistently what I bring to the table is my ability to be deeply, deeply grounded, and still. So truth can fully come where nothing of mine is coming here.
Right.
It is stillness that is being honored for you, and I want you to be seen. I want you to be seen. I want you to be able to feel yourself and listen to yourself and give yourself tools for that. And I think my truest gift is being able to slow time down. Yeah. I know maybe that sounds like obviously a little weird to some, but like I know how to like slow time down and make it very, very clear, where there's so much honor and devotion of the space being a clear container. Yeah. For truth to emerge, because my number one priority is truth to come out and honor that truth and invite it in and see what happens.
Wow, what beautiful medicine. I mean,
Yeah.
so many, I would say most people aren't given that space growing up, and certainly not in society.
Yeah.
Do you find people are uncomfortable with that at first?
Oh yeah.
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 Ah, you're seeing me.
Yeah. And I think maybe that like that feels very masculine to me. I think I'm really good at being masculine and feminine.
Hmm.
Um, and so what needs to emerge, I can really listen and allow. But I can create a very beautiful masculine container
Hmm.
as a and I think again because I grew up more masculine and I've kind of really know what it means to be like a beautiful masculine.
Hmm.
But I can also teach like my happy place, like the place that like makes me vibrate
Hmm.
is the feminine because that's my work, my own personal work that I can through deep experiences and through transmuting and all of that. Um, that's the stuff that
Just lights you up.
lights me up
Yeah.
so much. That's
Yeah.
where the embodiment work is, though. That's where,
Right.
you know,
Well, and that's you living your truth,
yeah,
which is powerful.
yeah. Well, and without that masculine container, the embodiment work is definitely harder to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, I create a container for the feminine to emerge,
Hmm.
and then I know how to practice that too.
Beautiful. The last thing I'd like to touch on before we wrap up is surrender.
Mm.
The word surrender, the spiritual idea of surrender, surrendering to the feminine or surrendering to what is.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have in their mind that that's like giving up because they think of the literal definition of surrender. But what does that really look like to
Ooh,
you?
what great questions. Thank you
Yeah,
for the invitation.
yeah,
Um, oh, that's a big one. We were talking about destiny a little bit earlier,
yeah.
and that feels like those coexist together. But surrender is trusting, like trusting your experience
Hmm.
and all that you've gone through, the good and the bad, and knowing that it's for a greater good for yourself and for earth and spirit and the people around us, the collective. Um, it's the thing is with surrender too, the more you know, the more you have to surrender. And that's where it can get like it can be harder because you become more aware and there's more tending to the surrender.
Hmm.
But I think free will, because people want to know, like, okay, surrender, giving up. Let me grab this. So you surrender to your destiny that you've been given, the parents you've been given, all of the things that have happened, the culture we're in now, and the wildness that is emerging. We're noticing it. We're aware of our childhood now. We've chosen the parents we've been that we were given in this life. And what are you going to do with that is where the will is, the free will,
Hmm.
right? Is like you surrender to the destiny of all that is, and what are you going to do with it?
Hmm.
I think that's where the free will is.
Right. And
Right?
that's where we got into like the victim versus the creator,
Yeah.
right? Are you a victim of your circumstances or are you making lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yeah.
And
Or are you transmuting that, like that medicine
right,
into love? You have so much opportunity to I mean, and some people don't feel like they do as much because some people aren't given a lot. But yeah, I think transmuting that medicine into love is where the free will is. That's where you have a choice. Do you want to live or do you want to die?
mm,
When my dad passed away, I was talking to my brother on the phone, and I feel like so many times in my life I've had to choose if I want to live or die.
yeah,
I didn't have like the easiest upbringing, so I think me and my brother many times in our life have chosen to live, and to live is to love. We chose to love,
yeah,
and such a powerful thing, to
yeah,
choose love.
yeah,
And the more we like let people know there's so much pleasure on that side, and that they are held, um, that they are held by love, I think the more people can somatically feel that, the more we can teach that to people.
yeah,
The somatic feeling of it.
right.
How do we help people like drop into this somatic feeling of being held by love?
Yeah, instead of like pushing it away, or all the maybe feeling unworthy, or even that it has to be transactional.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah. I told you about the image of my dad gave me, right? Of the
Maybe.
ocean.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I try to tell that story a lot because I feel like people are like, oh, I can feel that.
Do you want to tell it here?
Yeah.
You don't have to. But
Yeah, no, I'll tell it. My dad passed away through suicide, and couple weeks leading to him transitioning over, it felt like a transitional space of him going to this collective consciousness, another dimension. I could feel where he was. He was sharing it with me, and he gave me some things to think about through imagery and things like that. But one in particular, I was laying in my bed, and I remember feeling like so surrendered. I was just like, but I felt so much love, and I was just like so surrendered. I remember closing my eyes, and in my mind's eye, I drop into this vision of my dad and I on the ocean, and it was like foggy, and it wasn't like these crazy waves, but they were like just kind of buoying us around in the ocean. And I remember feeling the ocean holding me, especially because it was like buoyant. I was like, oh, whoa. I remember being like, I can feel this. And as soon as I felt it and like could feel like the coldness on me and the buoyancy of it, I like look over at him, and he says, do you feel that? And I was like, yes. Feel the water. He said, this ocean is all the love that's ever been, and all the love that ever will be and is, and it's holding you.
whoa.
So, yeah. Yeah. And I just like was like, that is probably the biggest gift my father has ever given me, to feel all the love that's ever been and ever will be somatically. Is to be able to feel what that even, it was beautiful. It was the best. Wow. But
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's surrender.
Yeah. There you have it. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if people want to find you, how can they find you?
Yeah, so I have a website called Living Telefatum, which that actually means divine fate or woven destiny. So living your divine fate or your woven destiny. That's what it means in Latin.
Beautiful. And that's also your Instagram handle for
Yeah.
your business?
Living Televatum.
And
T-E-L-A.
I'll link that too, so people can find it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been really cool, and I'm just so honored that you get to be my first interview for this podcast.
I'm very honored to be here with you.
Yeah, and this land, wow, this land held it down for us today.
Yeah, it definitely did. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see who we have next time. Probably someone equally as amazing.
I'm sure you have a lot of amazing people in your orbit.
That is true.
Your ecosystem.
I'm blessed.
You are very blessed.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.